Strange Mysteries 3 Unsolved. Number 1. The Glyco Morinaga case. This case is as twisted as a TV crime show. It deals with the Japanese company's Ezaki Glyco, best known for its Poke snacks and Morinaga. In 1984, two armed men in masks broke into the CEO Katsusha Ezaki's mother's home and bound her, taking the house key of Glyco's CEO. Entering his house, they also tied up his wife and daughter. Mrs. Ezaki attempted to negotiate money with the men, but they were after something else. Cutting off the telephone calls, they raided the bathroom where Ezaki and his other two children were hiding. They abducted Ezaki and held him hostage at a warehouse. They issued a ransom for 1 billion yen and 100 kilograms of gold bars. Their plans were discovered when Ezaki managed to escape 3 days later. A few weeks later, just when the company thought it had escaped extortion, vehicles in its headquarters parking lot were set on fire. Then a container with hydrochloric acid and a threatening letter addressed to Glyco were found in Ibaraki, where the warehouse was located. This began a string of letters from a person or group that dubbed itself the Monster with 21 Faces, named after a villain in Japanese detective series. The letters threatened the company's products, claiming that their candies were laced with potassium cyanide soda. Glyco was forced to pull the products off the shelves. This resulted in a 21 million loss and the layoff of 450 part-time workers. After months of tormenting Glyco, the Monster with 21 Faces decided to look for fun someplace else. Their final letter towards the company read, "We forgive Glyco." With that abrupt ending, they turned their sights on the food companies Muradai Ham, House Foods Corporation and Fujiya. In exchange of stopping their harassment towards Marudai, one of its employees was to hand them a ransom money on a train. That was when an investigator who disguised himself as an employee saw the prime suspect, known as the Fox-Eyed Man. The man was well built and his hair cut short and permed, with eyes like those of a fox. After dropping the ransom as instructed, he and another investigator attempted to follow the Fox-Eyed Man, only to lose him. They would get a second chance later on, but he again evaded them. After continuing harassment towards the police, a year later, Police Superintendent Yamato committed suicide by setting himself on fire, ashamed of his failure to capture the Fox-Eyed Man. 5 days following the death, the Monster with 21 Faces sent his final letter to the media. It reads, "Yamamoto of Shiga Prefecture Police died. How stupid of him. We've got no friends or secret hiding place in Shiga. It's Yoshino or Shikata who should have died. What have they been doing for as long as 1 year and 5 months? Don't let bad guys like us get away. There are many more fools who want to copy us. No career, Yamamoto died like a man. So we decided to give our condolence. We decided to forget about torturing food-making companies. If anyone blackmails any of the food-making companies, it's not us but someone else copying us. We are bad guys. That means we've got more to do other than bullying companies. It's fun to lead a bad man's life." Monster with 21 Faces. And with that final statement, the Monster with 21 Faces disappeared, never to be heard from again. The SS Orang Medan. Ghost ships aren't just portrayed in legends and movies such as the Pirates of the Caribbean. In this true story, the entire crew mysteriously perished. It all started in 1947 when ships travelling the Straits of Malacca, located between Sumatra and Malaysia, heard a troubled distress call. All officers, including captains, are dead, lying in chart room and bridge, possibly whole crew dead. Following the message was some indecipherable Morse code, and then finally, all will die. An American ship called Silver Star answered the distress call and found the Orang Medan, but there were no signs of the crew on the deck, even when they tried to call to them, and so they boarded the ship only to find themselves in a horror scene. Scattered across the deck were corpses of the Dutchmen, their faces construed in such a way one would think they had witnessed something ghastly before they had their demise. Even the dog was dead, its face also contorted in agony. The captain's body was found on the bridge, while the communication officer was still at his post. His cold fingers still pressed the telegraph. The American crew went down to the boiler deck to find the same situation. Despite it being over 100 degrees down there, a cold chill came over them. Retreating to their ship, once again they decided to tow the Orang Medan to port, but as soon as they attached the tow line, smoke began billowing out of the ship. Moments later exploded, sinking into its watery grave, taking all its secrets along with it. What horrible thing did the crew witness? Some believe it was the work of the paranormal. Perhaps a band of ghost pirates raided the ship, or aliens decided to drop in. Such unexplainable things do happen, as firefighter and EMT Mick Mayers have experienced in his firehouse. Others, however, have more scientific explanations. Many theorise that the Dutch ship was smuggling hazardous materials such as potassium cyanide and nitroglycerin. Seawater may have interacted with the cargo, causing the toxic gases to be released and poison the crew. The nitroglycerin would later cause the explosion, or maybe there was trouble in the boiler room and carbon monoxide had killed the crew, and a fire got out of hand and destroyed the ship. What is most troubling is the fact that although the Silver Star is very real, there isn't any registration records of the ship. Did the ship even exist, or is it merely a sailor's tale? What do you think happened? Until next time.